Aria ban to be expected, and then it's back to Sapphire Aces for their first pick.
Yeah, it's exactly the same situation as the last series, just the other way around. Banning Chen Walker first and also banning second ban there with Zavara to not let it slip over to Sapphire Aces. And it's going to be first pick onto this Black Feather. So all the time in any matchup, you're going to see the same heroes going to be focused on into the draft. This is going to be Black Feather going to be picked up to not let go over with a Grace. Because if they do that, unfortunately, it's going to be a really bad situation over for a Resonant Reaction. So they should try and ban off or pick Grace on this turn of draft.
Yeah, I definitely want to see Resonant pick up one of the two captains here and ban the other. That's going to force Sapphire Aces to dig a little bit deeper into their captain's hero pool and come up with something else. But they're actually going to go for the Ringo. Definitely a very strong meta weapon power laner in the meta right now who's capable of putting out a lot of damage from the back line.
Yeah, so now we're going to have to see what they want to go on to that second bang over from Resonant Reaction. Seems like a Grace would be a nice opportunity if they want to take it off on the side of Sapphire Aces, but they're going to be banning off the Arden. That means right now Arden and Grace were two heroes in the support role that were very were a very important focus for every team. So that means Arden is off right off the bat, and Grace is still available. So it might be getting banned off on the side of Sapphire Aces, picked up by Resonant Reaction. Would be an awesome play in this draft.
Yeah, I really would have preferred Sapphire Aces to take away the Grace right here. I fully expect Resonant Reaction to go ahead and pick up the Grace. She's a ton of synergy with Ringo because he did so much damage output in such a short period of time. He can just go in. Once Grace has that Echo, that's going to be two Divine Interventions coming out in order to heal them. And exactly what it is going to be the Grace. I really want to see Sapphire Aces answer this with a Vox pickup. Vox does decently well into Ringo. I think Ringo is a little bit favorable in that matchup. But Vox, because of how good Poison Shiv is on his normal builds, that's going to be able to cut down a lot of the sustain that comes out of Grace. And if they don't take out the Grace, then I definitely am going to be favoring Resonant Reaction for this draft.
Yeah, and like for the second pick on the side of Sapphire Aces, I would highly recommend going on to Lyra, because you're going to go against the sustain hero that's going to be the Grace with the Divine Intervention. So naturally, as said Sugenaris in a lot of his casting in the past, he has to go with another healer to go up against the healer support hero. So I think that would be the best choice on their side to go with Lyra, and it's awesome combo anyways with the Black Feather. So it's already an auto sustain if he goes with that Serpent's Mask as a first item choice.
Yeah, Lyra, as you said, she's going to offer a lot of sustain. One thing that would be interesting is if Sapphire Aces actually flexes the Black Feather into Crystal Power, and if they did that, Lyra would provide a ton of sustain. They are, however, going to go for that Catherine pickup. That's a captain I haven't really seen in the professional meta for a very long time. Interesting. And then Reza off the back of that. Definitely an interesting pick. Very mobile and definitely is going to be a huge threat to Ringo. He's going to be able to avoid whatever crowd control Ringo and his teammates are going to be able to provide. And I think that makes sense as to why Sapphire Aces has now banned the Batis, because Batis, with all of his crowd control, would have been really strong into the Reza, but taking him out of the picture now, that's going to really open up all of the opportunities that Reza is going to be able to take advantage of.
I do absolutely understand and love the draft coming over from Sapphire Aces. When you're going to be having the Blast Tremor, surely going to be trying to go on the late game with Echo itemization on that Catherine. It's going to be so smart if they can make it go right to the full extent of the use the full potential of this comp. Because Catherine, using the Blast Tremor, if you got the Echo, maybe going to be popping the Crucible first side onto that Grace to try and save up for his team. But the second Blast Tremor, if you are not able to block it, you're going to be silenced down. Just going to be stopping you from using any Divine Intervention to save out your Ringo, or the other hero is going to be picked in that jungle position. And that means that's why Reza is super smart picking out for me. Because he can then, with that small lapse of time, Reza is one of those heroes who can absolutely burst down any squishy heroes. And while Divine Intervention is not up for any use, he can destroy the Ringo. I'm going to be seeing an Alpha Last pickup onto the B side for Resonant Reaction.
Yeah, Resonant, very aware of what you just said. Reza is very deadly and dangerous to squishy heroes. They were very smart in going with something a little bit more tanky. What this is going to be able to do is this is going to allow Grace to focus those divine interventions on Ringo. She's not going to have to worry about two different carries that she has to protect. As long as Alpha gets a little bit of damage and then builds fairly tanky, that's going to make it very difficult for Reza and his job of blowing up any of the enemies.
Okay, so now we're going to be trying to go into this first matchup as soon as possible. So once again, Flashix, every time I ask you this question, what team would you be going and supporting in this game depending of this draft?
Both comps are interesting. I think that just because Resonant has stuck a little bit more with the traditional meta, I definitely think it's going to favor them. But if Sapphire Aces is able to execute and Resonant isn't able to block up any of those blast tremors coming out of Catherine, they will be in trouble. But if I had to pick one, I'm definitely giving it over to Resonant Reaction.
Okay, and just for the sake of it, I'm going to be going over to Sapphire Aces because if they have that amount of synergy working around Catherine and Reza doing as a proper duo and wombo combo at this point, if they can make it work properly, I think they can delete the Ringo and just focus after down super easily onto the Alpha. So I'm going to be going with, giving my support this time to Sapphire Aces, and we will be going into the game any moment now to go into the beautiful house and fold, and going to have to check out which teams take the first game.
Yeah, we're definitely in for another exciting game. It looks like Chef Coca on this Catherine using that World Championship Catherine skin. Definitely one of my favorite skins that SCMC has released very recently. Pretty standard builds, nothing too out of the ordinary. Ringo, however, he does decide to start with those boots level 1. So if they get into a very early game engagement, he's going to have that little bit of extra movement speed to allow him to kite out the side of Sapphire Aces. However, because of the mobility that both Reza and Blackfeather has, he is going to have to be very careful and very aware of his positioning at all times.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Troubled Spartan really wants to look for early game aggression. He does get the Book of Heliogenesis, Book of Heliogenesis, and also the boost. So he's not going to have that much damage coming out of his auto attacks. So it's going to have to be interesting to see how this is going to pan out for the first level 2 team fight. Looks like we can have a little bit of an aggression between the Catherine and Grace. They're not going to be getting that much of another aggression now, just leaving it escape. But yeah, it looks like they're slowly going to be going down to that first Elder Treant of the game, and maybe a first little team fight will be coming up.
Yeah, we'll see. There looks like Sapphire Ace is going to start up that shop Treant. It's getting pretty low, but the last hit from Resonant Reaction, not too close that time.
Yeah, gone over to Demon Prince, sorry. Did get that first Elder Treant. Going to go back to his jungle rotation now, and yeah, just as rules rule, just a little bit of a support early help onto that lane. Merciless Pursuit going to be connecting down to that Ringo. A little bit of damage coming out, and Benetchin coming back onto match. That's taking a lot of damage. Going to pop that healing flask super early into the game. That means he doesn't have that available in case there's another engage coming up soon enough into this game.
Yeah, that healing flask definitely coming out a little bit early. I liked their idea. They had the right idea of to use that stun combo onto Ringo, put a little bit of pressure onto him. But because Ringo started with those boots, and because he did start with that Book of Eulogies, he's not going to be too worried about it. He's just going to be able to last hit and sustain and get back to full health.
And that's going to be very interesting to see. He's just going to be able, as you just said, there sustain and just staying under turret. He's in a very nice defensive position, so not that much to worry about this Blackfeather and Catherine duo. And one at a time dancing, trying to be a little bit of damage and overstepping, going to be tanking that damage with his only healing flask that's going to be popped out at the last minute. Well, tanking up the burst of that fire starter stack up there. And looks like Alpha will be getting that second Elder Treant. Will be going over to the team of Resonant.
Yeah, with Reza trying to apply a little bit of that lane pressure, that did leave the shop Treant very easy for Mac and Cheese on that Alpha to be able to pick it up. He actually recalled after that first rotation in shop, so he had a little bit of an item advantage over Demon Prince on the Reza on the other side, but pretty passive game overall. A little bit of back and forth, definitely different from the first series that we had. There was a lot of blood spilled very early on, but both teams feeling each other out, trying to figure out what they're capable of, but I definitely expect over the next minute or so, once the fountains start to get completed, that these teams do decide to start getting a little bit aggressive.
Yeah, we hope to see a little bit more aggression. And indeed, like, with the aggression is going to come out, we see the mac and cheese is going to try and finish for his first item to finish in his build. Aftershock is going to be that much more effective going into a Black Feather. That means you can do damage onto more tanky heroes, such as Black Feathers, and it's going to be very smart building that for the early phase. Most of this pursuit, well, that time is going to be connecting onto Ringo. How you never connecting also onto Black Feather. And this Catherine tanking her with the on point 4 stacks of Hearth Robe onto Troubled Spartan. Does have the healing flask available if ever he gets engaged, but be careful. You do not want to go that close to the Black Feather. You can sustain. Just try and heal up with that Book of Genesis. Well, Tom did have a little bit of aggression there with that Prime Directive with that Benediction. Not going to go that far.
Yeah, because Matcha's on the Black Feather was able to recall, he already has that heavy steel, and out-trading Ringo, who only is sitting on a Book of Eulogies at that point, was going to be really hard for Ringo to stay there and sustain much longer. But he does, Troubled Spartan on that Ringo does manage to recall. He is the basis to his spell sword now, both with the heavy steel and the chronograph. He's working on putting them together and getting everything that he needs. Catherine, up to 7 of those Captain of the Guard stacks. The more she can find, the tankier she's going to be able to be, the longer and longer this game goes on. So that's really smart that she's looking for those opportunities as much as possible as well.
And she just has to try and build up the stacks as fast as possible. And now we do have then onto this Reza and Alpha, 2 Aftershocks now available. And as you said, when the fountains are starting to pop out, they are going to be so much more aggressive and do so much more damage with that itemization right now. So it's just going to be very interesting to see what they're going to mainly focus on. I think the main focus here are going to be this Black Feather and this Ringo to try and focus on. Be careful. Alpha going to be trying tanked up also with that on point. Just looking for a little bit of poke right now. And level 6 just around the corner for a few of these heroes.
Yeah, those aftershocks are going to be really important. Both junglers completed them very quickly, but it's going to provide a lot of upfront burst damage, which is definitely something that both of these teams are going to be trying to look for. Ringo does manage to finish his spell sword. He's going to be able to keep his energy elevated in the lane much more easily now. He can constantly spam both his Twirling Silver and his Achilles shot, which is going to help both his sustain in the lane as well as his lane pressure. Catherine Chef Coca does manage to find a bit of recall, picks up her fountain. Dancing Unicorn on Grace has hers as well. So making sure that your team doesn't get into a team fight being behind on that big of an item is definitely going to be very, very important.
Yeah, we're going to have to check that out. They got the fountains now available, as you just said, so it's going to be very important. Well, at that time, going to be positioned there, trying to get the ultimate onto this Ringo. Taking a lot of damage, got a 5-stack of Hearth Robe. Going to be going down quite soon. Uses the boost just on time to be able to survive. Match has taken a few damage and a few shots of that turret. Alpha trying to reposition. Call. No, coming back with a Prime Directive. Core charge doing a lot of damage too. Alpha Robe going to try to connect onto Demon Price. Doesn't have the ultimate to escape of that damage. Well, they turn into the jungle. Doing a 1v2 situation. Oh, where's that mine? Kill going over to the Grace. And the burn still going down onto Demon Prince. Will be able to survive. Prime Directive once again onto this Catherine. Just so much work done, and that's what you see. You must respect the damage coming out of an early game Alpha at this point.
Dancing Unicorn sniffing out that first blood with the Scout Trap from the Tri-Brush. Definitely something that Matcha's on that Black Feather was not expecting, but that's first blood in her pocket now, giving her a little bit of a gold lead over Chef Coca. It does look like she's very smartly working towards Crucible next, picking up Crucible, making sure you are able to block out the blast tremors are going to be very important. Troubled Spartan underneath that turret got very lucky. It was a very well executed dive by both Matcha's Demon Prince. Troubled Spartan barely got away from that with his life, but now that Grace has her Divine Intervention online, it's going to be much easier for Troubled Spartan to be able to stay alive, keep that sustain up, and even put a little bit of pressure back onto both Matcha's and Demon Prince if they try to make a similar dive yet again.
Yeah, but if it is successful on the side of Sapphire, they can also do the combo with the Blast Trim to actually stop the Divine Intervention from coming in. So it's going to be very skillful in terms of play. Now we're going to have to see how they can turn around these team fights with those very game-defining ultimates. Like the Divine Intervention, the Blast Trim are going to be so important in this game and game-defining. So we're going to have to check out that pans out in the next team fights. Well, that time, trying to put a little bit of pressure. Most of this pursuit going to be connecting onto Troubled Spartan. Not going to be missing onto that on point, unfortunately, for this Black Feather. Match just going to be going very low. Blast Trim doing the silence onto the entire enemy team there. Also, Black Feather going to be trying to get out With that, looks like Alpha wants to go under turret point, on point, tacking it up a bit. Going to be going to reboot under turret. Unfortunately, Mac and Cheese might be going down very soon. Able to reboot just on time. 496 damage, but still surviving. That was so close. And what a time trying to reposition there. Awesome ultimate coming out from Demon Prince. Look to tank that up a little bit. Merciless Pursuit just on time. And look at that, maybe a little bit of overstep there on the side of Resonant. Got Blackfeather just face checking. Really bad idea on that point. Just getting deleted. 0-2 for Resonant at this point in under a 9-minute game.
Definitely a hectic team fight there for sure. Resonant Reaction does manage to pick up their second kill of the game. Mac and Cheese almost overstepped his boundaries just a little bit, going into that termination protocol underneath the enemy turret, barely making out of his reboot phase before Machas was able to execute him. But Machas does have the Serpent's Mask now. He does have the breaking point now, so he's gonna be able to stay a little bit longer up in this lane and continue to put on a lot of lane pressure.
And for the purchase of the Crucibles, so Dancing Unicorn, really respecting the blast trimmer that's going to be coming out of this Catherine. The very important item just got purchased on his side. Going to be able to use that Divine Intervention in case the blast trimmer does come down at any point. So very important on that side. And it looks like we're going to be having a little bit of an aggression from that Alpha. Turret's already mid HP. They can try and maybe look for a push on the side of Sapphire Ace. Really something very important to check out when you have a Blackfeather on your side. Going to be stunned out by the Merciless Pursuit. Also a little bit of aggression there. Match is going to be put. It was he never cannot do anything. Crucible popped out, but cannot tank enough. Unfortunately, will be deleted in an instant. And now just Demon Prince and Chef Coca going to be able to try and defend that turret at this point.
I'm not sure if you caught that, Max Man, but Dancing Unicorn actually had a brilliant play during that last team fight. She channeled her stun and canceled the blast tremor coming out of Catherine, and the silence never even landed. Had the silence came out, that team fight definitely would have been much different. But Resonant Reaction able to pick up this first turret now, extending their kill lead up to 4-0 and starting to finally build a little bit of a gold lead as well.
Yeah, that was awesomely played there. If you can just avoid that blast tremor coming out of the Catherine and just continue on the team fight, it's just going to be so much more effective. Like Catherine, she's just so powerful with that blast tremor. The huge silence she can make it come out of that ability is so important. But if you can shut it down, you can just re-engage right behind that and just totally ignore the Catherine. That was awesome play there. And we do have the Dragon's Eye then, that awesome itemization onto this Alpha. So it's going to be a very important build. Now we're going to have to check it out because you are against the Blackfeather and the Catherine Dar, very tanky heroes. So she's going to have the time now with this Alpha to build up those stacks and just try and burst as much as possible Demon Prince and Matchaz when he has the opportunity.
That is exactly right. And like I said, we did see it in their last team fight too. Because Alpha is so innately tanky, Grace can really just focus her divine interventions on keeping Ringo alive. Now that Alpha has her Aftershock, now that she has her Dragon's Eye, she really just needs to focus on some core defensive items. She's going to be able to get up to those max Dragon Eye stacks without a problem. And then all of her abilities are going to start doing a ton of damage. But it looks like they're getting into another team fight.
Yeah, got a little bit of Holy Nova there. Catherine going to be using the Healing Flash trying to regen, but on his own. Also, he did have that Divine Intervention posted just before the blast tremor does disconnect. Also, those core charge and those Prime Directive are doing so much work. Mac and Cheese, an absolute god on that Alpha. Going to be using the reboot under turret, not able to use the Termination Protocol. Taking a lot of damage, but able to reboot once again. This is an absolutely rematch of earlier. Looks like Mac and Cheese able to survive, which is a slither of HP right there. And look at that, be careful. Hellfire Brew going to be trying to go down on Chef Coco. He's going to be going down just before the regen of his home base. Unfortunately, will be dying there to the Hellfire Brew. Nicely played, and Demon Prince might be trying to look to get away of this bad situation for him.
Yeah, Troubled Spartan, definitely a bold Hellfire Brew, but it does pay off. He managed to secure the kill onto Chef Coca, extending their lead to 6-0 now. They're up about 3.5K gold. That is something that Sapphire Aces really needs to start being careful of. They don't want to keep getting too far behind. They've already lost their first turret. Not too much damage onto their second turret, but Troubled Spartan is starting to scale. He has 2 Tyrant's Monocles plus this Spell Sword on this Ringo. His damage output is going to be absolutely insane. Demon Prince, during that last team fight, was unable to use his Netherform detonator to engage onto Ringo. Instead, he had to use it to disengage in order to get away with his life. In order for Sapphire Aces to find success in these team fights, he has to be able to get the Netherform detonator on top of Ringo, get that damage off, and then even get the additional damage coming out of Firestarter as well. But it looks like Troubled Spartan getting caught out.
The team fight just started, and already Ringo gets deleted in an instant. Trying to reposition 5 stacks of her throat are going to be going onto this Grace, so they're going to just leave her alone, trying to go back over onto Mac, and she's just trying to get bursted down with that Firestarter stack. Going to be just surviving. Crystal Sentry saying no, going to try and come over to protect his friend there. So nice rotation anyways, and do get a very, very fast heal onto Troubled Spartan, just getting bursted. So you might have to try and focus more defensive items at this point against the Grace, the Reza.
Yeah, Troubled Spartan, he only has a kinetic shield at this point. He needs to be equally concerned about the Black Feather. When he goes in for those executes and those on points and the Rose offenses, he has no armor. So Black Feather's going to be able to build up those breaking point stacks really quickly, but it looks like they're trying to get aggressive yet again.
Those Prime Directive are doing so much work with the Core Charge. Going to use the Healing Flask for match, just trying to tank up that Core Charge just coming out. Prime Directive once again doing a lot of damage on the entire team of Sapphire. Divine Intervention going to be, unfortunately, not that much of a use. Crucible just on time to able to make Mac and Cheese reboot. Also going to use that Core Charge and that Prime Directive. Not going to be connecting, unfortunately, onto his main target. It was Demon Prince at that time. So no kills going down there, but nice team fight on the side of Resonant right there.
Yeah, really good pickup. They weren't scared, even though Troubled Spartan had just gotten deleted. They weren't scared to turn up their aggression a notch, go and chase down the side of Sapphire Aces. And now Grace is able to pick up her Echo. She's going to have 2 Divine Interventions coming out in these team fights. If Troubled Spartan is able to pick up a little bit more defense so that he doesn't get deleted, he will receive the benefit of all of the healing coming out of Divine Intervention. Now, because the side of Sapphire Aces has no mortal wounds, it's going to be very hard for them to take down this Troubled Spartan if it is Grace giving him both of those huge heals.
Oh, be careful there. Merciless Pursuit going to be connecting with a very offensive game by that Blast Tremor. Just overstepped and have the information in the bush with the presence of the Reza and the Catherine at that point. And just going to be transforming this little kill into now a turret going down. First turret on the side of Resonant. So nice objective focus on the side of Sapphire there. And just rotating and that's what we want to do. You have the Ringo available. If you're able to burst him down in an instant, even before the Divine Intervention falls upon him, he's just going to get deleted at that point, and he cannot do anything. And you really have to build up that defense. He does get the Aegis at this point.
Yeah, Troubled Spartan has the Aegis now. Even if it's blocking out a Merciless Pursuit from Catherine, you pretty much know that when she's coming in, Sapphire Aces are committing to a team fight. And if Troubled Spartan is able to block that Merciless Pursuit, he's going to be in much better shape for living throughout the duration of this team fight. It's definitely up to Dancing Unicorn on that Grace to make sure he's using the Crucible to block up that Blast Tremor. Easier said than done, but it looks like Sapphire Aces are going in.
Yeah, coming back in. Still, Blast Tremor is on cooldown, so will not be able to stop a Divine Intervention this time. Court's doing quite a lot of work there. Divine Intervention going to be healing up that Alpha, trying to reposition Demon Prince, respecting the damage, trying to get away as much as possible. 5 stack of her throw. Court's doing a wall of damage. Still coming back in with the Court Charge once again, and the Prime Directive doing so much work onto the entire team of Sapphire. Coming back in, not going to be connecting just on Chef Cocker. Trying to reposition. Oh no, Demon Prince getting bursted there. Tried to reposition with his ultimate at that time. Blast Tremor just to try and make Team Resonant get away. And yeah, just once again, like Black Feather, it's just, you get deleted in an instant if you go up against that the quantity of damage with the Prime Directive coming out of Mac and Cheese. So you have to respect the damage there and build up defense items at that point, and which he has, but Matcha still got deleted anyways.
Yeah, because Machas does have that Atlas Pauldron now, he needs to make sure he's using it effectively onto Troubled Spartan. But Kraken getting close.
Yeah, does get focus down anyway by Resonant. Looks like we're going to have a little bit of a fight there. 2v3 situation. Oh, nice ultimate. Getting used by Demon Prince, avoiding that Prime Directive. Anyway, it looks like he's going to be going down. He does go down indeed. Prime Directive, such a cooldown, just a short cooldown. All the time, Chef Cocker will be following shortly after the Reza going down. And now we have a Kraken pushing. And Black Feather, the only man standing to try and protect those turrets.
Yeah, Black Feather by himself. his teammates will be back up in no time. They'll be up shortly after this turret does manage to go down. Machas doesn't really need to be that far forward contesting at this point. He just needs to wait for his teammates, because if he gets killed, if he gets put on a staggered cooldown from the rest of his team, that is going to be really bad. Mac and Cheese going in too early, not able to do any damage while the turret still has its barrier, pretty much giving free breaking point stacks over to Machas. It's not really going to matter. He'll back out a little bit and kind of reset what's going on for the rest of this Kraken push.
Yeah, the Kraken still pushing. They got now access to the enemy's choke point, which is super interesting where you got those prime directive and always repositioned super far on the enemy side of the map. So now that they got access to that, those team fights are going to be doing even longer and going for such a long amount of time and also going much, much further. Just going to be so important for Mac and Cheese. And well, at a time like Demon Prince, unfortunately, he still doesn't have that much defense. He's able to survive a little bit longer than Match has, but he still gets deleted if he tries to commit into any team fight to try and burst down Trouble Spartan. So maybe it would be a good idea to actually try and finish some defense there. Also against the Ringo, because Ringo actually has almost free range onto Demon Prince if he comes into range.
I definitely agree. That's something that Reza needs to be aware of. If he tries to go up against Troubled Spartan and his allies haven't been able to get any crowd control on him, he's going to be in really bad shape and he's going to be really vulnerable. He does have a clockwork, so his abilities are going to be on super short cooldown, and he's going to be able to output a lot of damage as well. But if he oversteps too far, if he overextends and gets out of position, out of sync with the rest of his team, he's going to be in really bad shape. But it looks like the side of Resonant Reaction are looking pretty good right now. They've about a 5k gold lead, which is going to be really helpful. 2 turrets still left standing, but it looks like Sapphire Aces are coming up with the aggression.
Yeah, Blast Tremor are going to be working just fine, but so they will not be going and engaging on a full team fight there. Sapphire just leaving them escape. Blast Tremor did use the Echo, so he's got that cooldown back to 0 now, just able to use that ability once again if they need. So yeah, just a little bit of a waste of an ability there on his side. But right now, like Trouble Spartan, full build, got the infusion. He's just in the best spot ever right now going up against this Reza that hasn't got any defense against him. So right now, if Demon Prince doesn't make his combo work perfectly with those treble, those fire starter stacks, he's just going to get absolutely deleted. So he has to get his combo on point and engage when the silence is up. So he does know that Trouble Spartan doesn't get healed up by the Divine Intervention, because if the Divine Intervention does come down, he will not be able to do as much damage onto Trouble Spartan, because he will have the extra defense, and it's just not what you want at this point. You want to engage in the best situation possible at this point.
I definitely agree, but it looks like Resonant Reaction is going in for the team fight.
Yeah, Sapphire going to be engaging in the team fight. Nice Crucible going to be used a little bit too early, unfortunately, for Chef Cocker. Going to try and go there. Ringo just doing so much work onto Matchas with the extra defense too he has. But Chef Cocker going to be on his own. Water's being used. Chef Cocker going to be going down merciless, but she connecting onto the Ringo, but it does go down anyway. Catherine Black with the off the map. Reposition. Oh no, Reza tried to get away. How far are we going to be going down? Oh, my Prime Directive! That Sniper Prime Directive was awesomely placed. And just gets the ace over to Team Resonant at this point, and nicely played. The Kraken is up, or they can even try to finish the game with these very long desk clocks.
Yeah, we're long enough into the game right now, and their wave is far enough pushed forward. Ringo does so much damage at this point. He's going to absolutely shred through the turrets, and that is going to be a victory for Resonant Reaction here in game number 1.
Yeah, just awesome plays coming any time there. So it was really around the Ringo, I would think, at this point, like, because it would burst down any hero trying to get the aggression on him. And if any hero over on the side of Sapphire was able to get onto him, Divine Intervention was come down. It was just a great rotation coming over in terms of gameplay and macro style, just in terms of synergy, how it was coming out. You engage on the Ringo, Divine Intervention gets the tank up. You can just tank up the damage coming out from the Rizza also, and just like do an awesome Black Slash at that point and completely try and delete him. So I would say like nice combo between the Ringo and the Grace in this game.
I definitely agree. For going into game 2, if Demon Prince does decide to play that res again, I would have really liked to have seen him build an Atlas instead of that Clockwork. Even though 2 of his teammates had it, he can use that Netherform detonator to apply Atlas on Ringo from a range that he's not really expecting. And getting that Atlas onto him is going to be really, really important. With that Netherform detonator ability, he can probably do it more easily than either of his other two teammates, and that's going to be really important in terms of shutting him down. Ringo, super, super strong in today's meta, and that's something that Sapphire Aces really need to pay attention to.
Yeah, now we're going to try and see when we're going to be getting into the next draft for this second game. So right now, we're going to have to see what heroes they want to try and focus on. I think we're going to see once again those Vario and Trent Walker bans on the first side. But like Grace, like they've done the mistake to leave it open to the enemy team on the first time for Sapphire, which was their downfall, I'd say, in this side. Like Grace was so efficient in this game. So maybe try and focus a little bit more on this Grace on the side of Sapphire to try, maybe even try and ban it on the first ban if they do first ban Varia, like the first matches we've done.
Definitely agree. Getting into draft number 2 right here, Resonant Reaction. It looks like the same. They're really feeding off of each other. They do go with the Churnwalker as their first ban. That's obviously the strongest captain in the meta right now, and that's something that they need to pay attention to. Sapphire Aces responding with that Varia ban. No surprise there. And again, Blackfeather as the first pick, a complete mirror of game number 1 thus far up until this point. I definitely want to see Sapphire Aces capitalize on how strong some of these captain picks are, and ultimately we'll see. They go with the Grace.
Yeah, so not leaving it go over this time. Like Sapphire wanted it for their own. Going to be locking in that Grace, and also it's a pick ban at this situation because Grace, they're just saving up a ban at this point. It's a huge and very efficient hero, and just taking it off to combo with Blackfeather is a really nice situation, and they can just ban another very annoying hero that they want to take off the marks. So nice drafting on their side for Sapphire Aces.
Definitely. I really want to see them take away the Arden from Resonant Reaction. Don't give them a strong hero to play with the Blackfeather. Use the captain band so that they can next pick the Ringo. Pair the Ringo with the Grace, just like Resonant Reaction did in game 1. They obviously know how strong it is, and hopefully their laner is comfortable on Ringo, and he can definitely put in a lot of work.
So we're going to have to see what they want to try and ban out now. Like, oh, they do take the Arden, as you just say, Flash. So that was like, nice prediction on that part. So now they do not have that. So I expect to see probably a Lyra, or as earlier they did take a Catherine, but like I said earlier, a Lyra to go against another sustain captain would be very smart on their part. So we're going to have to see what they want to try and ban on that part. Maybe they would like to ban some heroes such as Batiste or some sustainable hero to combo quite well with the Grace, like maybe a Rona also. Just see what they want to take off right off the bat for Resonant right now.
I really like the Ringo ban. That was definitely what I was predicting in my head before it came out. They understand just how deadly Ringo and Grace can be together. The one thing they need to be careful of right now is if Sapphire Aces decides to pair the Grace with a Vox. That'll make Vox very, very strong, and it'll force Resonant Reaction into going a little bit off meta. I would think they might go with the lane Rona, but I think the lane Rona will be at a severe risk of being kited, and they'll have to play something a little off meta, such as a weapon power Adagio, or maybe even a Baron if they do go for that Vox pick.
Yeah, Vox pick would be very smart. You also got other heroes, like maybe a sustain hero. Maybe they can pick up a Batiste on that side. But going up against a Blackfeather that's still flex, can go CP jungle or weapon lane would be quite smart. So we're going to have to see where they want to focus this second pick on the side of Sapphire Aces. So probably a Vox will be coming out, as you just said, would be quite nice to go on to. So any second now, like 5 seconds left. We'll be going on to the Vox then, as you just said, Flash. So very nice drafting on the side of Sapphire.
Yep, great pickup by Sapphire Aces right there. Resonant Reaction can do a lot here. They really do have a lot of different options. It is going to come down to what they're most comfortable with. The one thing they have to keep in mind is just how much Vox is going to sustain, and assuming he builds that poison shift, how much counter sustain Vox is also going to have built into his kit. Not many captains left. We did see a Catherine come out last game. I would definitely like to see a Lyra come out here. But again, with Vox on that poison shift, Lyra might not be very effective. So hopefully that's something that they're definitely taking into account. And I actually would really like to see a Catherine come out here again from the side of Resonant Reaction.
Yeah, Catherine, like once again, was the Blast Tremor, just totally avoiding the Divine Intervention from coming out. Didn't work as well on the last game, but maybe now, because the tables are turned around, maybe Resonant will be able to make it work out better better paced than it did for Sapphire Aces. You're going to have to check that out. 20 seconds left before the last pick comes in. So you're going to get on the Batiste then. Something I wanted to see them focus on. That's very nice. You got to see with the Fearsome Shade, with the Ordain coming out. You can also stop the animation of the Divine Intervention from Grace. So a very smart pickup, I'd say, on that side. I'm working with a Black Feather at this point. It's just nice just to focus down and isolate enemy heroes.
Yeah, so they could do two things right here. They could actually flex the Batiste into a roam position, which would be really interesting. Or if they do pick up the Catherine, that is going to be an immense amount of crowd control that I'm not sure Sapphire Aces will be able to deal with. Comboing both the Blast Tremor with a Fearsome Shade, I even think that on a Jungle Batiste, he could even build an Echo in that situation. That is just too much crowd control for any team to handle. But it is going to be that Roam Batiste. I would assume it's a Roam Batiste right here going with the Jungle Taka. An interesting pickup, that's for sure, but hopefully the Mortal Wound coming out of Xretsu will be very effective against the Divine Intervention from Grace.
Yeah, it's just going to be that much more easier to shut down that Vox with the Xretsu applying the Mortal Wound and stopping the Divine Intervention here. Going to see how effective it's going to be in game, but now we're going to be waiting for the jungle pickup on the side of Sapphire Aces. What would you expect to see picked on their side right now?
Definitely hard to say. It's going to come down to a comfort pick. And Ozo, I'm not a fan of the Ozo pick right here. I think that a Roam Batiste has plenty of abilities in his kit to be able to shut down an Ozo. Anytime Ozo goes in for the Vainglory, he can either get canceled by the Ordained, by the Fearsome Shade. That's going to be something that's going to be really hard for Ozo to deal with. That being said, Ozo is very tanky, which is going to be effective against the Batiste, Taka, and the Black Feather. And maybe being that frontline presence with a little bit of extra sustain is going to be enough to be able to counteract all the crowd control coming out of Resonant Reaction.
Yeah, with Ozo's passive, you just get extra healing, and with the Divine Intervention, it's just so effective. You get a huge amount of extra healing with that passive. It's going to be super useful, but like Ozo is very vulnerable to CC, and like as I said, all these games, Batiste is the CC god at this point. You got the Fearsome Shade, the Ordain, just able to completely stop his Acro Bouncer at any time. So you're gonna have to check how they pans out. But anyway, FlashX, what team would you go for in this game? I suppose you might be going with Team Resonant at this point.
Yeah, like I said, I really like all the crowd control coming out of Resonant Reactions draft, particularly with that Roam Batiste. I think that that's a pick that a lot of teams tend to overestimate and tend to kind of forget about, but when he's picked in a situation such as these, he can be very, very effective. And if they can shut down the Ozo, that's going to be the bulk of the damage, at least the bulk of the burst damage coming out of the side of Sapphire Aces. So that's something that they need to be concerned about, and he's going to have to get a reflex block very early on in order to make sure that he's still able to be effective for his team.
Yeah, so now we're going to be heading into the fold for this second game. Let's see if Resonant are going to try and do a 2-0 situation, or if we are going to see maybe a comeback on the side of Sapphire Aces. That's what we're going to be checking out into the second game. Anyway, it's going to be going onto a slow rotation on both sides once again.
Yeah, Mac and Cheese on that Taka starting with the double weapon blade start. That's great. Even though Taka traditionally builds into a little bit of crystal power with a little bit of cooldown reduction, having those weapon blades synergizes really well with his House Kamuha heroic perk, and those crits are gonna hurt a lot, and they're gonna do a lot if they do get into a big engagement after this level 1 rotation.
Yeah, you're gonna have to check that out. You can also do so much damage, like it does a little engaged team fight. So you're gonna have to wait and see how that's panning out. But look at that. Slowly the teams are coming up together to that Elder Trin. You're gonna see the first little team fight. If they want to go at that point, it looks like probably Resonant want to go into that. Match has already started going to the top lane there. So slowly gonna be trying to take that down. It will be going over to Mac and Cheese. No, it will be going over actually to Dancing Unicorn with that little extra heal with that Elder Trin. Nicely focused down for that first objective.
Yeah, Dancing Unicorn, making sure he has his Reap perk active, making sure he's getting that maximum damage out of the Bad Mojo at level 1 was definitely critical, and making sure he secured that last hit onto the shop chain. And now he's already up in lane. This is something that Roam Batiste is really good at. He can apply a lot of the lane pressure with that bad mojo, putting a lot of damage into the side of Sapphire Aces.
You're gonna have to see, like, you can put so much pressure in the early games as if he's a mage hero, because he gets that still at the same point as if he was playing a jungler hero. Just doesn't have those extra like early CP damage items. But anyway, it's gonna be so effective in the early game phase. I'm gonna have to see that a little bit of aggression with that benediction, anyways. And looks like we're gonna have Taka maybe trying to go with that Elder Treant. Ozo, Demon Prince trying to overstay a little bit, trying to check that out. Taka now has free range to go on that Elder Treant. He will be going onto that now, and will not be stolen by anyone over from Team Sapphire, Fire Ace.
Demon Prince did rotate up to lane after that jungle rotation, was looking for a gank, but unable to find it. That opens up a lot of opportunity and opens the door for Mac and Cheese on the Taka to safely secure that shop Treant yet again for the second time in a row for the side of Resonant RXN. And they're definitely happy to gain any sort of gold advantage that they can in this early game. Traditionally, one of Taka's biggest weaknesses has always been how slow his jungle clear is. More than almost every other hero in Vainglory, he clears incredibly slow. So when he's able to get these small goal advantages, that's something he's definitely got to be happy about.
Yeah, be careful. Going to have a little bit of aggression there. Benediction going to be connecting onto Dancing Unicorn. Also, the Ordain able to keep in this match as Vox. Taking a lot of damage with those key stacks. He does have a little bit of weapon items onto his kit. And the Kaiten getting the first blood. Nicely done, Mac and Cheese. Getting a lot of damage. You said Vox, no, he wants to be part of this. With the 3-ring circus, taking the kill onto the Black Feather. Trying to rotate over. Does have a 3-ring circus. His Acrobounce coming up soon. Unfortunately, the cooldown was a little bit too long and was not able to finish his combo right there. But nice first blood going over to the side of Resonant.
Yeah, Resonant, they got to be happy about that first blood. Unfortunately, a little bit of a misplay by Troubled Spartan. He had his healing flask. He wasn't able to get it off in time. Had he been able to get it off, he may have lived from all that burst damage coming out of Demon Prince. But that's something he's got to be careful of. I love his first item pickup. So far, every single Black Feather we've seen today has started out with a Serpent's Mask. Troubled Spartan, very aware of who he's playing against, goes with the Poison Shiv first. That's going to cut down all the healing that's coming out of Grace, all the fortified health, sustain, and healing that's coming out of Ozo. And then it even negates the healing that's coming out of Matchas on that Vox from the Poison Shiv that he just picked up as well. I think that that's a really smart pickup. And if they want to kill this Ozo, if they want to shut down this Ozo, the Poison Shiv is going to be absolutely essential.
Yeah, that's a very good point for us. Just it's going to be able to be so efficient onto this Ozo. But Ozo, well, at the time, doing a lot of damage there with the Acrobounce and the 3-ring circus onto Mac and Cheese. So just going to respect the damage and go back, try and regain slowly, take those camps. Well, at that time, going into the face check, Trouble Spartan getting absolutely bursted to the ground. Got the jump, using their own healing flask, but unfortunately, going to be going down anyways. And going to be taking a little bit of that jungle camps there for Sapphire. Nicely engaged onto this Black Feather.
Yeah, healing flask, not quite as much as what he needed this time. Ozo does have that aftershock on him now, and that burst damage is just, it's going to be too much for a healing flask to try and be able to fight back against. So he does fall 0-2. Overall, he's not sitting too bad. He is starting to get a little bit behind Matchas on the Vox in terms of CS, but it's nothing that he can't make up later on in the game. He just doesn't want to keep making those mistakes any further. If they do get into a fight, now that Taka is level 6 with his X-Retsu, they want to make sure that they're sticking together, that they're team fighting together and capitalizing on all the crowd control coming out of Dancing Unicorn on this Baptiste.
Yeah, and we do have now the 2 fountains available on Dancing Unicorn and Chef Croker. It's going to be very important to see those team fights last a little bit longer and see how these teams are going to be reacting to that. Because we do have the Poison Shiv available onto this Black Feather and this Vox, so it's going to be able to shut down a huge part of the healing with these fountains anyway. And looks like we're going to be seeing probably a new team fight coming up as Vox slowly rotates up with his team fire into that top lane.
Yeah, just a little bit more teams. They understand that people are starting to hit these major item power spikes. They're going to start doing more damage. Not a whole lot of defense picked up by either side here. It's only tier 1 defenses for the side of Resonant RXN. They understand that Ozo is going to be able to do a lot of burst damage, but Matchas, he already has Breaking Point in the bag. He doesn't even have boots yet. So he's going to be very comfortable with letting the fight come to him. He's able to just kite back, build up those BP stacks. And Grace, as soon as she hits level 6, as soon as she gets that Divine Intervention, he's just going to be able to kite with or without boots. He just needs to make sure that he's not stepping too far forward and he's not getting caught out of position.
You're going to have to see, like, she's almost at that level 6. Going to have the Divine Intervention coming up very soon. Taka going to be able to secure that treant right there. Where's that chitin? Nicely done. But now, like, Matchas does have, like, 2 weapon items right now available, and he just got a little bit of defense. So he does know he's going to be, as you said there, like, waiting for the team fight to come to him. Has to respect a little bit the damage coming out from Troubled Spartan and Mac and Cheese. So he's going to build that extra defense right there. And go slowly rotating up to the lane, but just doesn't want to get bursted down and just wants to give the time also the Chef Cooker to use the Divine Intervention on him if ever he will need that ability up.
That defense that Vox just picked up is going to be very important. He's going to negate both the crystal damage coming out of Taka and the weapon power damage coming out of Blackfeather. It's not a lot. It is just tier 1 defenses right now, but the sustain from his Poison Shiv as well. And Grace has that Divine Intervention online now too. It's going to be really important in terms of keeping him alive. But actually it looks like Grace had picked up the flare gun, so she might be working towards a contraption. She might not want to deal with the Kaku coming out of Taka and having to worry about where it is that he's going invisible. That being said, however, I don't know if necessarily that's the right choice. I really would have preferred for her to go towards a Crucible in order to block up the fearsome shade that's going to be coming out of Dancing Unicorn on that Rome Baptiste.
Yeah, that's going to be very important. Shouldn't try and focus down that contraption right now, because that would be, as you said there, a huge mistake. Just leaving the fearsome shade able to be 100% more useful in those team fights, just not being able to block it out. And then we'll just leave free range for Troubled Spartan and Mac and Cheese to do so much damage. But one at a time, we do have the Bangarang not going to be connecting because Troubled Spartan did use one of those stacks of Rose Offensive just on time. So nice use of that ultimate there. And it looks like we're going to be having a team fight slowly coming up as Sapphire trying to push them down in their own jungle. Demon Prince going to be a lot on the front lane and maybe trying even to rotate onto that lane and do a bit of damage onto that second turret, which is a nice rotation coming over on the side of Sapphire. They do have the information now onto the attacker's position using Express. Divine Intervention going to be coming out super early onto this Fox. Holy Nova putting into the air. This Baptiste regening slowly with those Bard Mojos. Going to use that Healing Flask just in case. Looks like they are going to be looking for another team fight quite soon after you use that Healing Flask. Taka coming in there, getting the extra move suit. Express, you're going to be connecting there onto this Vox. Going to be a little bit too much on the front lane using Healing Flask to sustain. But that fearsome shade doing a awesome work and trying to reposition there. Rose Offensive not going to be taking a kill on Matches, unfortunately. Express, you're going to be missed onto a minion. Missed that Express, unfortunately, and that destroys completely this team fight. Matches just able to, he would have gone down if that actually connected. Bangarang does work onto Trouble Spartan, going quite low. Therefore, also going to have the Acrobats connecting onto Trouble Spartan, taking a lot of damage, finished by the Benediction of Chief Kirker. Awesomely played on their part. And yeah, Dancing Unicorn's going to be backing out to avoid giving the ace over to Sapphire Ace.
Great team fight for Sapphire Aces. That's going to enable them to take their second turret of the game now. Troubled Spartan, though, and actually Mac and Cheese is going to be able to equalize a kill on a Vox and actually save their turret for the time being. It's just one hit. It doesn't look like those minions are going to be able to finish it. So that's a huge misplay out of the side of Sapphire Aces. They split a little bit too early, a little bit too greedy out of them, and they definitely get punished for it. But in that last team fight, Troubled Spartan should have realized that he wasn't getting out of there alive, and he actually probably could have gone into Matchas and killed Matchas, but it looks like Chef Coco getting caught out of position and taking a little bit of damage on the backside.
Yeah, it looks like maybe you're going to have a little bit of an aggression there. Also going to be and a little bit of a bad synergy on the side of Resonant. Getting a bit of damage also with that Throwing Circus. So yeah, Crucible will be off the mark for the next 35 seconds. So unfortunately, a little bit of a miscommunication on their part. Could have kept that over for the use of Holy Nova.
Yeah, that's definitely true. But the side of Sapphire Aces have got to be confident with how they're feeling right now, burning out those abilities. Ozo did go for that Eve of Harvest second, so the amount of sustain he's going to get is going to be really good. And even further, Troubled Spartan on that Blackfire justifies why building a Poison Shiv was so important.
Yeah, that's going to be even more effective now that Ozu does have that Eve of Harvest. It's going to be the item just one value at this point. I'm going to have to see how that comes out. Maybe going to have a little team fight coming up soon. They do have the information on the enemy team. Sapphire into their flare. And they're slowly going to be going back to their side of the jungle, looking for maybe just a little extra goal to finish the few new items they need, such as Demon Prince, trying to finish as fast as possible that CP defense to try and shut down a little bit the use of that Mortal Wound at that point and shut down the damage coming out from the attacker.
Yeah, I'm actually really surprised that Sapphire Aces are not being punished for Grace building this contraption so early on. I definitely think that if Resonant are able to commit to a well-coordinated team fight, they should definitely be able to win. I definitely hope Dancing Unicorn does opt for an Echo eventually so that he can bring out 2 Fearsome Shades.
Yeah, like the Crucible is not even out right now, so gonna have to see how that pans out. We do have the Aegis, just got finished out by the Ozo, as I just said earlier. Very important item on this side, and now we're gonna have to check out, like, right now, Ozo is still doing a 2-0. He's doing an awesome game at this point. And he hasn't got shot down by the Poison Shiv coming out of Trouble Spartan. So we're going to have to see like if they can focus him down a little bit more because their main focus right now is Matchaz. And he's been able to survive, went down just once. That means they completely ignored in those teamfights Demon Prince, just able to do so much free damage, was having no problem and like not really a huge opposition on the side of Resonant.
Yeah, Sapphire Aces, now that they've built this gold lead, are starting to itemize really well. Chef Coco, I didn't really like the contraption, but he does have the Crucible now. He was not punished for it. Hopefully, we see an Echo coming out very, very shortly, but they have so much defense on the side of Sapphire Aces that they can just go in on the Troubled Spartan.
Trouble Spartan doing a little bit of face check. That's only block to stop that. Didn't have any, fortunately, the cooldown for the stack. Holy Nova, not going to be connected. Stopped by the Rose offensive. By the time Ozo doing a lot of damage, they're going to use also putting that Ozo under turret with that Fearsome Shed. X-Ray going to be connecting onto this Vox, taking him down. The Vox coming down strong, doing a lot of damage with those auto attacks. On point, able to tank up a little bit more, using own healing frost, trying to stay out of that situation. Ozo coming back in, trying to go back onto Trouble Spartan, doing a lot of damage with that aftershock. And that combo with that 3-ring circus. Looks like Troublemaker is going to be a little bit too much on the front lane there. Going to be attacking it with the on point again. Again, shut down with that 3-ring circus. And Matchas during the point. Just putting him on point at this moment. Where's the damage? He's just shutting him down. Where's that Poison Shiv and those stacks on the breaking point. Extra actually going to be enjoying all the damage onto this Vox Ordain, just able to win a little bit more time. Shutting down Divine Intervention. Just on time with the Crucible. Stopping the Mortal Wound from appearing. Going to also Crucible just to stop that Banker coming up. Going to go under turret there. Does have the possibility to go in. Does have the vision onto this attacker. And finish him with that aggro bounce and the 3-ring circus just on time. No, it looks like they might even... no, they were going to be looking to go back to the enemy's jungle to steal their camps.
That's exactly what I was just talking about. Sapphire Aces are so tanky that they just were able to take those team fights underneath their turret, and they are all still so healthy. Grace and Ozo practically still full health. Ringo just will pick up Box will pick up just a couple of jungle camps here and get himself back to full health as well. He does pick up the journey boot, so he is going to be able to engage and disengage very, very frequently on those much shorter boot activation cooldowns. And as Grace continues to establish more and more map control with this contraption around the map, it's going to make it much harder for Mac and Cheese to try and find the isolated kills that Taka is very reliant upon.
Yeah, and at this point, like, Taka is in a good situation because the Echo is still not finished on Chef Coca. He hasn't even started the building this Echo that's going to be so game changing. When he's going to have that item available, it's just going to be stopping Taka from engaging with the X-Retsu. Because you're going to have double healing, just able to top up Match's HP all the time. Right now, he's very, very late in build on the normal Grace build, so you have to check how that pans out. And we do see Dancing Unicorn building that battery, so he's going to really try and look out for double Fearsome Shade, which is the main focus as a Captain Batiste.
Definitely. He has that Void battery starting to build the core components towards picking up that Echo, which is going to start to really be where Captain Batiste is going to be able to start being very effective. But with Kraken on the map now, both teams need to be very careful and very aware of their positioning, because if they get caught out, that could be either game over for the side of Resonant or the comeback that they're looking for if they are able to find an ace onto Team Sapphire.
Yeah, now every team is going to be that much more important. Extra, you're going to be connecting onto the healing fast. They're able to tank up that damage. Divine Intervention coming out quite early in the team fight. He's healing him with 500 down. No, be careful. Vox going to be quite shut down. Oh, the triple man, Holy Nova. Crucible too late. And this Vox is going so far, able to sustain so long. Kaiten X Retsu doing the work right there. And Ozo just sustaining so hard. And looks like this Black Feather will be going down any second now. Gonna use the refill block a little bit early, able to sustain with the on point. Unfortunately, this will be a triple kill over to Demon Prince. And looks like Sapphire Ace wants to take this game up to a 1-1 situation.
Demon Prince is having a much better game on this Ozo in game number 2. He's 6-0. He's making all the right plays at all the right times. And that is absolutely critical to the success that Sapphire Aces is having in this game number 2. They're going to be picking up Kraken. It's not going to be contested. They only have 2 turrets. 1 turret, the minions, the ace minions in the base of Resonant actually take down one of their turrets, and they only have 1 turret left remaining. Things are looking very grim for the side of Resonant.
Yeah, it looks like Sapphire Ace are going to see and try to shut down this game as fast as possible with this Kraken push. So it's going to be very important to see. But now we do have the Echo. Just got purchased for Dancing Unicorn, but still no Echo available on this Grace. So going to have to check that out. But like Chef Cocker is still doing the work with only 1 Divine Intervention available. So now we're going to see like this Kraken is proudly marching onto the lane, slowly going to be arriving to the choke point. Now it's going to be like seeing the first few team fights, going to be arriving quite early actually. Are you never able to put into the air this dry Dancing Unicorn Divine Intervention coming out. Fearsome Shade just able to keep away this Grace and Ozone. One at a time, Mac and she's getting absolutely deleted, taking a lot of damage. Kaku able to regen a little bit there. This, oh, that Holy Nova just able to save up Matches. Also with a Crucible on point, just got a Feint of Heart coming up very soon. Able to shut down Matches. 3v2, 2v2 situation now. And Ozone still full HP with the sustained capacity. Like with the 3 Certius once uses the on point, also the refill block, gonna be finished with the Bangarang. Double kill for Demon Prince. He's just doing so much work at this point. Really
GG. Kraken pushing on into their base. The carries are dead. That entire time, that's exactly what I was talking about. Really great drafting out of the side of Sapphire Aces, taking away those really strong captains. And pairing Grace with the Vox is so difficult to deal with. It's so hard to find a carry that is able to get on a Vox and stay on a Vox. Even though they're managing to take Vox down in those team fights, they're going on for 15-20 seconds every single time, and Ozo and Grace the entire time are just wailing on all of the members of Resonant, and eventually they do fall, and we're in our second game number 3 of the day.
Yeah, Sapphire Ace is bringing this back to a 1-1 situation. This will be then the second game. We're going to be going very shortly into this third game to see who will be winning between Sapphire Aces and Resonant. So we're going to have to check that out. So slowly we'll be going into draft quite soon to go right away into the third match. Just waiting for the draft to come up. So yeah, like we're going to have to see, because right now there was an awesome drafting on the side of Sapphire Aces with this one, as you said, just taking such a valuable hero off the pool, literally. Taking off the Ardent would have been such a nice combo with this Black Feather. So you have to respect how they played that. And you just have to check out if they learned something into this third draft.
Yeah, they definitely, both teams going to be looking to make some adjustments in for this final game. We are getting on in to draft Sapphire Aces back to A side, Resonant Reaction back to B side. I definitely expect the same couple of first bands to come out to be the same. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Churnwalker first and then Avaria. It is a Churnwalker for the side of Sapphire Aces. And now it's on to the side of Resonant Reaction to figure out if they want to still ban the Varia.
Yeah, you're gonna have to check that out. It seems quite obvious to take off the Varia right off the mark. So yeah, just we're gonna have to see, like the focus around the roams is so important. We're gonna have to see how they're gonna draft mostly around the Arden, the Grace, who's gonna be having those really high tier roams at this point. So yeah, just waiting a little bit. for this first ban on the side of Resonant Reaction.
Yeah, they're definitely considering taking a lot of time on this first ban. They might seriously be debating giving away the Varia. Nope, they decide against it. Varia banned away yet again. Blackfeather has been the first pick in both of these series. Are we going to get it in game number 3? We're about to find out. I really want to see Sapphire Aces secure a strong captain pick right here. I think that they just saw how strong it was to make sure that you get a captain advantage from that game number 2. And if they do opt for the Grace or Arden right here, which they do, it is the Grace. I think that's an absolutely brilliant first pick. And I definitely expect and hope Resonant responds with that Arden pick, or they might end up putting themselves into a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, if they don't pick that Arden right now, I think it's going to be happening like earlier. They just banned, Sapphire banned the Arden off when they had to pick on the Grace. So they're going to be picking Blackfeather right there. That means that they still have the possibility for Sapphire Ace to ban the Arden like last game. This could be an absolute rematch if they do that again. We're going to have to keep that into our minds and see what they want to ban onto this second ban on the side of Resonant Reaction.
Yeah, they're definitely thinking about it. Ringo, I really do like that ban out of the side of Resonant Reaction, but Sapphire Aces, they could punish Resonant right here. If they ban away the Arden, Resonant is going to be stuck with a little bit of a weak hero in that captain role, and that's going to leave a lot of opportunity for Sapphire Aces to figure out what 2 carries they want to go with to complete this draft.
Oh, they're going to be banning Sky then. Okay, quite an interesting situation there. So Arden's still available. Gonna have to see if they want to focus onto that roam. There would be a nice idea to combo up with this Blackfeather, or you might still want to go onto Elira. These are 2 hero potential choices right now for that roam role. We'll be going on to the Arden at the end, so they do have that really important roam. There's going to be such a nice combo up with this Blackfeather.
I definitely agree. I don't necessarily care for the Sky ban out of Sapphire Aces. Hopefully, they have something very clever up their sleeves, and that is why they banned Sky. We're about to find out here within the next couple of picks. Maybe they really wanted to play something that Sky hard countered, like a Jungle Catherine or something of that nature, but they have about less than a minute to try and figure it out.
Yeah, like something to go with the Grace right now. We can have the Ringo did get banned off. It would have been a nice pickup in this situation. So they won't be seeing that this game. So probably a Vox. That would be quite interesting to see, like a lot of movement. Also getting the Divine Intervention from the Grace at that point. It's going to be so much more useful. So going to have to see what they want to focus down on the side of Sapphire Aces. Also maybe a Batiste. It can work out. You do have a Blackfeather that's a natural counter with the Rose Offensive, able to get out of the Fearsome Shade of the Ordain. It can work out anyways if they do to counter the other jungler they're going to pick up. It's going to be then a Vox and an Ozo then. Going up again with that combo.
Vox, Ozo, Grace yet again for the side of Sapphire Aces. It worked in game number 2. Will it work again in game number 3? Resonant this time does have the Arden, which I think is going to synergize much better with the Blackfeather. It's going to enable Blackfeather to sustain a little bit longer, build up these breaking point stacks in these team fights, and hopefully get the damage and the crowd control out of the Gauntlet to be able to secure the kill on to Vox. In terms of figuring out what their last pick is going to be, I would really like to see a Kroll here. Ozo struggles very hard into Kroll. Once Kroll puts all the weakness stacks onto Ozo, Ozo basically does nothing. Additionally, getting that From Hell's Heart on the Kroll is going to have a lot of extra crowd control, which will be really effective in terms of getting onto Vox and staying onto Vox.
Yeah, that means we'll be probably going also onto a CP Blackfeather if that is the case. It's going to be important, but they're going to be going then onto a Rain. So actually, like, when Ozo's coming over, he's just going to reception him with the Chill Winds, with the Winter Spire. It's going to be so effective to see how that works out. But you do have the Poison Shift that surely is going to be built onto this Vox to able to shut down the Fortified Health coming out of this roam. So very important and very smart matchups in this draft. So Flash, as always, what team will you be rooting for? Little joke was the rain there. What team are you going to be rooting for in this game?
I definitely like Sapphire Aces. I can see a little bit of tilt coming out of the side of Resonant. They actually went for a substitute, taking out their Ringo from the previous game and putting in Code Red. Rhyme, interesting choice. While I do think Rhyme does well into Ozo, I definitely think Rhyme struggles into Vox. Vox with that Poison Shiv is just going to cut through a lot of the fortified health that Mac and Cheese is trying to get onto that Rhyme.
Yeah, so now we're going to be entering this third and last game. We're going to have to see which team will take the win, if it's going to be Sapphire Aces or Resonant Reaction. This is going to be the last game of the evening. This is going to be awesome. We're going to have to see how it's going to work out. So right now, it's going to be really turning around, I'd say, Demon Prince and Matchas on their builds, how it's going to be working out. You did work earlier in the second game. Why you changed winning comp? So they just picked it again. But they are now against a different comp on the other side. They are still against Blackfeather, but Rain and Arden are going to be so much more efficient than the comp that they had last game. So we're going to have to check that out. Anyway, good luck to both teams, and let's see who was going to win this last match.
I definitely agree. Sapphire Aces, if they're able to play patiently and not force anything too early on in this game, they are going to have it in the bag. If they try and fight too often, I really think Rhyme is so good in these early stages of the game that it's not really going to matter how much mobility Sapphire Aces has. Rhyme is just going to sustain with all of his fortified health, and he's going to be able to put in a lot of work. But if Sapphire Aces can draw this game out before getting too far behind to 7, 8, 9 minutes, once Vox has his Poison Shiv, once Vox has some boots and maybe a breaking point, that is really going to be the critical point where Sapphire Aces is going to be able to take control of this game and take over. I'm surprised that Resonant is not going in to contest this Shop Treant. I definitely think they should have. Rhyme, again, so strong in these early stages of the game. They should have just cleared much faster than the side of Sapphire Aces, but for whatever reason, it's just a passive start yet again, and it does look like Sapphire Aces are control after rotation number 1.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to have a little bit of an early aggression there with that benediction. So just as a reminder, I said this was the last match. No, there's going to be another match at 10:30 EST. So sorry for that misinformation there. But one more match will be coming after. Not going to be casted by us, but by someone else who will be coming up anyway. So you guys stay tuned for that one. Anyways, like a lot of early aggression with that Grace, with the benedictions. Nicely done. And just solo rotations anyway coming out from Demon Prince and Mac and Cheese. Just normal rotations, as you would see with those two kind of heroes. Just trying to build up their first few items as fast as possible before getting the first engages.
Okay, so I'm actually just getting a little bit of information. It actually seems like Code Red is the main player for the side of Resonant Reaction. I apologize for that misinformation. I really don't know these teams all that well, but I'm definitely excited to see what it is he is able to bring to the table. I'm assuming he had some sort of conflict for the first 2 games, but he's here now, here looking for the victory. He's hungry for the victory, and hopefully he will be the difference maker in this final game.
Yeah, he might be able to take the victory for his team. We're going to have to see how that pans out during this game. Well, that time just Chef Cocker trying to keep that lane pushed out a little bit. Did use a little minion candy to try and keep that lane pushed, waiting for the Vox to come back. Hopefully never going to be used to get a little bit of CC on Dancing Unicorn, not much there. Anyway, like Elder Treant going to be respawning quite soon. And Chef Cocker really well on holding that top lane there.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of back and forth. No team want to make too many mistakes. Resonant Reaction able to build a little bit of an early game lead in terms of overall gold deficit. Vox, Matcha's on this Vox for whatever reason, missing quite a few last hits and getting a little bit too far behind this early on.
Be careful there. Dancing Unicorn going to be taking a little bit of damage there, a little bit overstepping, but we do have the gank there from Mac and Cheese just trying to help and hold that lane. Do you have the tank of Dancing Unicorn trying to keep that wave off a little bit to enable Cod Red to take that wave? And do have the first Aftershock built very, very early for this Ozo. Super early itemization, right?
Yeah, that's all Demon Prince has right now is just an Aftershock. That's going to enable him to do a lot of burst damage that maybe the side of Resonant Reaction isn't quite prepared for. I think most teams wouldn't really expect a team to pick up an Aftershock that early into the game, so hopefully they're paying attention to the scoreboard and paying attention to who has what items.
Yeah, you might want to look for a little next team fight quite soon for Demon Prince. Anyways, do you have Mac and Cheese just getting his items there? Looks like he wants to go for really bursty itemization with pure crystal damage right there. And they're going to be rotating up now for a little gank. Chef Cocker going to be taking a bit of damage with the on point and the Feign of Heart. Not going to be doing that much damage anyways. Doing the benediction. Well, you do have the rotation up also from Demon Prince and Mac and Cheese. Looks like he's trying to overstay. Also going to be using the Vanguard just able to tank up a little bit of the damage coming up from the Bangarang. Getting bested down with that 3-ring circus and the Acro Bounce. Also the Valkyrie going to be missing just off the charts a little bit there. Demon Prince and Chef Cocker just going to go away. Mid HP there. Just going to respect the damage coming out on the side of Resonance right there.
Yeah, even though we're 5 minutes into the game right now, neither team has their fountains just quite yet. They can go shop for them. But that was definitely deadly for Code Red. He was very much at risk of being burst down, but that's going to open up enough opportunity for Sapphire Aces to steal away a little bit of the Resonant jungle.
Yeah, now we do have the fountains available on both supports for both teams. That's going to be super useful. And we do have the Dragon's Eye then for pure damage and just able to stack up because you do have the Ozo just going to be jumping on you and you just can start stacking onto this Ozo super fast. So really nice optimization onto his side. Gonna have to see how he pans out for the next items. I would expect to see Eve of Harvest as a second item for this frame. And we do have then also first item, Serpent's Mask for this Black Feather.
Yeah, I definitely think Eve of Harvest would be a great item for Mac and Cheese. He needs some sort of energy regen in order to make sure he's able to continuously use his abilities. The only problem is with Vox, Matcha's having this Poison Shiv, you're not going to get the maximum benefit out of Eve of Harvest. He may want to opt for something like a Clockwork instead this game, but ultimately it's going to be his choice, and we'll kind of wait and see how things play out.
It looks like he's focusing more CP defense right there. So he's going to try and get an Aegis. I would maybe, I don't know what you think there, Flash, but I think weapon defense would be his main focus because Vox does have the Poison Shiv available, and I think that's going to be his main threat into this game.
Yeah, I definitely think that makes a lot of sense. Obviously, he might just be concerned about the burst damage coming out of Ozo. Regardless, he'll need a block no matter what just to make sure he's not getting caught out by that Bangarang. So that might be why he's opting or trending towards an Aegis first. Code Red getting very close to picking up his breaking point. It definitely seems like the Serpent's Mask breaking point is the meta build for Black Feather in these series, and hopefully he'll be able to pick up enough stacks this time around to be able to make the difference in these team fights.
Yeah, we're going to have a little bit of an aggression there. Chef Cocker got the 5 stacks of her throw onto him right now. Not going to be looking to engage anymore right now. Got the on point, just trying to keep those stacks up live. And they're going to have trying to send that little wave of minions under the turret, trying to stop the entry of gold for this Fox. We're going to be able to take that full wave anyways. So yeah, like Poison Shiv onto match, that's going to be that much more useful. You do have the sustain coming out from Code Red onto that Serpent's Mask. Wait for it, going to be going out. Also, there was just the awesome silence there, able to stop out the Rose offensive coming out for it to connect with the Bangarang. 3-ring circus is going to be going into that side gauntlet there. Demon Prince going to use that healing flask too, going back in with the 3-ring circus and the Acrobat. Sorry, and trying to get so much sustain there, just working out for Demon Prince, but just getting burned to the ground by this Rain, just able to just get him over when he's jumping around and just destroy him. And be careful, Mac and Cheese very low, might not want to re-engage right now, and it should be the end. Oh, goes down to behind there. Fortunately, Mac and Cheese did not have the information right there, and looks like Matcha's going to try and find a little kill onto Code Red, but Code Red said no, kind of trying to come back there. Code Red still there. Then a lot of damage with auto attacks anyway. Have to respect the damage, and going to be backing out to base, getting his new breaking point at this time.
Yeah, Code Red did a great job target switching during that engagement, making sure he's attacking whoever he needs to attack at all times. Mac and Cheese getting so unlucky from that scout trap. Ultimately, enough damage to take him out of the equation. That's definitely a huge incentive to why people should buy scout traps, myself included. But hey, it's still an even game. Over time, Resonant has managed to build about a 700 gold lead, nothing too significant. But Code Red on this Black Feather going hard into Vox.
Yeah, forcing out a divine intervention at that time. Nicely played on the side of Code Red. So, like, we do have the Crucible that just got finished for Chef Cocker. So, all be careful how you're never going to be connecting there onto Black Feather and Mac and Cheese. Looking for a little bit of an engagement. Not going to be going far enough. Going to be able to get on the turret, sending that minion wave there. But we do have then the Crucible that just got finished onto Chef Cocker. So, it's going to be that much more useful to avoid the CC coming out from Mac and Cheese Valkyrie. And also, if they have a lot of synergy, to stop completely the use of that Gauntlet coming out from Dancing Unicorn. So gonna have to see how that pans out. Anyway, huge engage there with a Rose offensive, trying to shut down matches. Not gonna be able to. Valkyrie able to stun out Demon Prince while his animation will be able to stun out too. With once again was that Holy Nova repositioning onto Code Red, tanking it up with that on point Rose offensive to get that extra HP and finishing him with the Feint of Heart. Code Red gonna be going down unfortunately to the auto attacks of Matchaz. And Chef Force gonna go down also to the auto attacks of this rank that also does CP damage, so he's super efficient at this time.
Yeah, that was one back and forth team fight. Chef Coca making a brilliant play to stun Dancing Unicorn out of his gauntlet using that Holy Nova. Absolutely brilliant. Demon Prince and Mac and Cheese stunning each other at the same time. Demon Prince using that Bangarang on to the Rhyme, Mac and Cheese, Valkyrie onto the Ozo. But ultimately, I definitely have to give it over to the side of Resonant coming out ahead in terms of that team fight. Starting to extend their gold lead a little bit more. No turrets have been taken down just yet. No team has secured the gold mine. But in terms of items, and especially in terms of last hits, it is definitely Resonant starting to pull ahead.
Yeah, and for Resonant, we do have Dancing Unicorn just got a very, very early echo at the 10-minute mark. We do have an aggression under turret there. You use the Rose offensive and the reflex block to stop that Bangarang that was outcoming from Demon Prince, and got the rotation of Chef Coca to try and protect that turret. But yeah, now we do have the echo onto Dancing Unicorn, which really shows the fact that they want to focus down as much as possible onto Matchaz, trying to shut him down and just keep him in that zone of the gauntlet, and just try and burst him as fast as possible at this point. And do have a little bit of a rotation there from Demon Prince, trying to keep this lane nice and healthy.
Yeah, both teams trying to position to get an advantage in this team fight. Chef Coco going in with the Holy Nova.
Yeah, the Holy Nova did connect just on time. Rose offensive under turret. Maybe not the best situation to go that far. Also, that use of the wave for it was very, very useful. Able to put a silence on the full side of the team Resonant. Nicely executed for that one. Looks like they're going to be going back and with the Benediction connecting onto Code Red. No, we're going to be connecting for that Acro Bounce, unfortunately, for Demon Prince. And looks like going to be going slow to a new passive, like, check out here. Code Red taking a little bit of damage. Poking with that on point aggression. Once again, with Holy Nova going to be tanked out. Where's that Rose offensive going to be avoiding that CC? And looks like both teams will be leaving this team fight go away.
Yeah, no one losing their life. Both teams a little bit scathed. A couple of actives used, but it doesn't matter. Both teams just looking for a reset at this point, wanting to continue to just scale up. Demon Prince has the Eve on the Ozo now, so if he leads these team fights, if he is able to go in first, he should be able to find a lot of sustain to be able to keep him alive for a while. The extra healing coming out from Divine Intervention on to Ozo because of his Carne luck is going to be really, really strong, and something that Resonant needs to be aware of. If Demon Prince is able to pick up a Dragon's Eye of his own, he's going to be able to do a massive amount of damage in these team fights. Chef Coco leading in with the Benediction.
Yeah, be careful there. Holy Nova did connect on Dancing Unicorn there, getting a little bit damaged, that little aggression. Something I'd like to point out is we do have the Metal Jacket on Matchaz now. He has to respect the damage output from Code Red, and looks like the aggression will be coming out once again. Rose offensive to stop the Bangarang from working out. Rose offensive onto Matchaz, going to be stunned out by that awesome gauntlet. 3-man stun. That gauntlet was absolutely huge. Divine Intervention going to be popped out onto Matchaz there. Able to be a little bit more healthy now for the next team fight. Maybe coming out. They want to maybe go under that turret. On point will be connecting onto Matchaz. Aggressing with the Feint of Heart. Rose offensive not going to be available, unfortunately, on the 15-second cooldown. Only never going to be working out. Does not have the Rose offensive still. That's a really bad situation when you do not have the Rose offensive. Do not try to go under the turret. You cannot escape as efficiently. You can also get the Acro Bounce. A little bit of damage. Going to be rooted in place. That Wizard Chill wins and absolutely shut down. Mac and Cheese just taunting a little bit there. Just knew he overstepped and just done a huge mistake with that Ozo.
First turret going over towards the side of Resonant Reaction. That's going to be a huge advantage. They are starting to pull away in this gold differential, about 3.5k gold ahead. That is going to be really important for them. Arden does have that Echo completed. He has the Fountain completed. Once he shops, he can either finish the Crucible or a set of War Treads. He does go for the Crucible, code red, finishing up the Bone Saw. Mac and Cheese has the Eve now on Rhyme. Those are huge, huge item power spikes for the side of Resonant Reaction. They're looking to get aggressive again. Dancing Unicorn forcing them back just a little bit. But at this point, they just want to keep farming. Mac and Cheese going into the back of his jungle to farm it up a little bit. But Sapphire Aces need to start being a little concerned about how this game is going. They're starting to get a little bit desperate. They're going in for a team fight.
Yeah, would you have a 2v3 situation there? Rain totally out of the equation in this one. They're going to be trying to not engage. They know it's going to be a little bit problematic. Going to leave that one slip away. So, like, talking about items, the item spikes in terms of use of time of utility, we do have the Echo for Chef Coca that's going to be coming out soon enough, shortly as his next item. It's just going to be able to give us that much sustain on Demon Prince and much as if ever they do get aggressed quite heavily. So going to have to see how that pans out anyway. And we do have then Mac and Cheese does get his Eve of Harvest. Now he's going to be going towards a Broken Myth. That's very smart on this part because you do have the Aegis that did got finished onto Demon Prince. And Match as is also building towards that item.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Code Red, with that Bone Saw, he is going to be able to shred through the metal jacket that is on Machas. And Machas needs to make sure he's being careful. But they've been caught out.
Yeah, they just got caught out there. Got a Valkyrie, not going to be connecting, unfortunately, on any one side of, oh, be careful, Divine Intervention, going to be connecting there onto this. Ojo able to give him a little bit more sustain. Doing a 1v3 situation, but unfortunately not going to be enough with that sustain. Going to be absolutely deleted. Doom and Holy Nova, unfortunately not going to be enough to save up Ozo. And that Gorny will be connecting. Awesome Crucible going to be coming out, unfortunately. Going to be going down to this Black Feather. Code Red doing so much work right now. Where's that Bone Saw?
Yeah, Kraken on the board now with two members of Sapphire Aces in the base respawning. That's going to be a pretty free Kraken for Resonant to go ahead and pick up. Mac and Cheese getting a little bit of Pierce onto this Rhyme as well. That's going to be able to poke through the Aegis that is on Demon Prince. They have unleashed the Kraken. They do have 4 turrets to get through, though. I think Sapphire Aces should be able to survive through this Kraken push. But they're giving up one of these turrets pretty much for free. And now they're just down to 3, and things are starting to look a little bit more grim.
Yeah, they do have access now to the choke point turret. With this Kraken, it's going to be surely quite easy to take down with that full HP Kraken. Going to have to see how it's going to pan out anytime soon. Kraken slowly going to be arriving. Mac just trying to get a little few pokes with those with those Winter Spires. Infusion. You did go back there, Match us to try and get that infusion, trying to get a better team fight situation there. Valkyrie going to be connecting, unfortunately, on absolutely no one, onto the turret only. Going to be coming down, trying to get the stun onto Match us, unfortunately, going to be able to get out of that gauntlet, trying to reposition. Match us taking a lot of damage from that Rose of Ents. They're going to be connecting onto the own point, trying to sustain the Voxgen. Also, you have to respect the damage of Match, and unfortunately, he's going to be going down. 3v2 situation there. Sapphire going to be taking a lot of damage. Ozo is going to be going down super fast too. Alice Portman, look, he's going to be rooted to the ground, double kill, and this will be the ace over to Resonant, and this will be the game number 3 and the victory over to Resonant. Team Resonant.
GG, well played, Resonant. Code Red, you were the missing piece that your team was looking for. That was a pretty commanding game for them. 8.5k gold lead by the end of things, and Resonant, I definitely think they looked much more dominant, much more confident and comfortable in that game number 3. And yeah, congrats to them for winning the series.
Yeah, Demon Prince had absolutely no boost at the end of this game, but unfortunately, like Chef Coca didn't have the time to build that Echo, which have been that much more useful onto this combo with the Vox and the Ozo. Unfortunately, did not arrive right to that time until the game. So congratulations here to Team Resonant. Did take the 2-1 situation up against Sapphire Ace. So congratulations to them. So yeah,